Alrighty, so this is essentially my first real ride. I decided to pretty much ride the entire length of the Marblehead Railroad Trail. Actually starts just over there, but this is essentially the very beginning of it. So I'm going to ride across town. If you go down backwards, the trail does actually continue after a certain point, but the last time I've been there was about 15 years ago, and it was almost impassable. So I'm just going to kind of start here. But I do want to check out and see what happened to that part of the trail at some point. As I said, it's probably been maybe even over 15 years since I last went down that way, and you can walk all the way down to Swampscott. But so yeah, this is the Marblehead Old Railroad Trail, and it pretty much goes a good section through the entire town, and it also veers left at one point, allowing you to go to Salem, which it connects to another bike path. But obviously when we were younger, we would ride our bikes, hang out here, and this is pretty much our main source of transportation throughout the town as we grew up here. So sometimes you'd walk through here barefoot, just going to the beach here down the right. There's a little pond down here. On the left, we'd also hang out here, catch various animals and things. They made a little boardwalk down there, you can see. It's been there for some time already. But yeah, so let's just see how this goes, and we're gonna try to ride the entire length. So this really is my first real ride. There's a lot of places you can get off. I had a friend that lives on that street over there. It's going to be a little bit of a couple intersections. There's really not too many kind of roads that go in between. I may have to stop at some of these. As I said, I'm still really new at riding this thing, so I do not want to fall. I can do this. I can do this. I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. Oh yeah, holy shit. Well, I did it. Managed to get up there without getting off. It's a real accomplishment day. I'm cruising along pretty good. So far I just tried this one little section up ahead for the first time the other day, and I managed to make it up this hill coming up without an issue, so hopefully I can do that as well today. I believe these are really one of the few tough spots. Go that way to the beach. There's a synagogue here. This is one of the few sections of the trail where there's a road, but I'm going to hop right back into the trail in 1 second here. Here's that little hill coming up. So far I've noticed when riding this EUC is to try not to go up the hills too fast, because then you kind of face plant, and I don't actually have any protection except for my helmet today. And that's why I'm going to try to just take it really slow, and that way if I fall I kind of just going to hop off. I'm going. So far so good. Got caught by a prickly bush there, but I made it through. Alrighty. So yeah, we're approaching kind of the JCC area. There will be multiple streets you can get off here. I'm riding my recently purchased Begode MCM5 V2. It's really my first wheel outside of the M10-3, which is the one I also purchased, but it was kind of more the starting wheel. So you can see the beginning of the JCC here on the right. And I have some golf courses, not golf, tennis courts, not golf courses. Oh, excuse me. Oh, excuse me. And conveniently, kids playground and all the way up to the GCC, and I played on that playground as I was a kid, and I grew up right on this street here on Auburndale Road. So I'd spent a lot of time playing at this basketball court, just walking up and down and back a long time ago before they moved the high school to where we're going to see it in a little bit. It used to be way further down, so I'd be walking with my backpack a good distance for about 25 or so minutes straight. But obviously they moved the high school, so now we should see it on the left in about a minute or two. It is convenient that almost every single street you can get off at, so you don't kind of get stuck on this trail. Whoop, it's a little bit of mud here. It did rain a lot last night, so I'm hoping there are not major puddles or anything like that. I really have no experience riding over most of these things, but this is why I'm taking it extra slow. Probably going around like 8-9 miles an hour right now. I remember when I was young, this whole area, that none of these houses were built yet. In fact, where the new high school is, there used to be kind of like a mountain area with caves and old abandoned structures and all kinds of, I believe a long time ago they were saying like chicken farmers or some sort of farmer kind of stuff that was over there, and we'd hang out and play there all the time when we were young, and then they demolished that whole section of forest and made a new high school there, so that's what's there now. Sure is a nice day, and the GoPro is actually only at 38%, so I'm hoping it makes it through at least a good portion of this trail. It was a bit of an impromptu trip. I just figured I'd go somewhere for once instead of riding around in circles around the park and things like that. So far, this has been an absolute breeze. Here we are. We just passed Broden Road, actually. Used to be some forest here back in the day where we used to kind of play various war battle games and all that kind of stuff when we were probably 9 to 15 years old. And here's the new field of the high school. It's actually a bit overgrown, but you can see it over there. Actually, we recently passed, there's a little secret passageway on the right here that we just passed a little while ago that allows you to kind of cut through this part on the right, and it's kind of important because one of the larger stretches where there's no cut through, it is right kind of over here. So if you need to get to the other side, it's pretty much the only little cut through over there. I'm gonna approach Smith Street, which is where the post office is, and my friend used to live here when I was young. We'd spent a lot of time here, and well, if you kind of keep going left, it goes to Bell School, which is a school I went to, and yeah, places where we climbed every rock, walked through all the bushes, explored every nook and cranny as we grew up. Actually, having not really gone down this path for a long time, I forgot it actually does split in kind of. So yeah, it splits left to go to Salem, and then right it goes under a bridge. So we're gonna go check that out. Alright, I'm hoping I can cross this street without getting off. As so far I have not gotten off yet. Somehow I can make it all the way down to the little market plaza. I can't believe I cannot remember the name of it, but there's a little kind of you could call it like a little mall, and it's like an outdoor mall of a bunch of shops at the end of this whole trail in the center of Marblehead. And I don't know how I cannot remember the name of it, as it's ingrained in my brain, but as I haven't really been here that much recently, it is now escaping me. So yeah, this is up ahead is going to be the last intersection until you kind of, actually I think there might be one more, but you kind of enter this longer stretch where we'll see the path go left towards Salem. And as I remember years and years ago, the path that went left was often covered in a lot of mud and kind of was not nice looking at the very beginning of it, but after once you go down a little bit, it does look just the same as here. So, oh no, there's a turkey. Are you kidding me? Oh my god. This thing better not go after me. Oh my god. Okay, do not look at this turkey. Do not look at this turkey. Alright, make it nice. No cars, and excellent. Remember back in the day, there used to just be one of those metal bars that kind of hook, would hang here and you'd go around it, but now they made these nice little bike, kind of, I don't even know what you call them, little entrance markings. So yeah, just keep going. Remember, I also had a friend kind of living left along here. So I pretty much had some friends living along every stretch of the road, so. The one nice thing about going the Salem path when you go left is that it obviously goes kind of towards the water. Towards kind of like this nice area by a bridge that would be fun to play by and throw rocks in the water, and there'd even be a bunch of people that would jump from the bridge into the ocean, but I never did that as I was pretty young back then. Alright, so here's this one other intersection coming up. Here. My feet are kind of hurting a little bit, but not much. In fact, I'm a little surprised at how well my feet are handling riding on this thing with almost no experience. This is day 8 of me riding it. Yesterday was the only day I skipped in a row because it was raining pretty heavily all day. But my feet are getting used to this thing. That's not, I forget where that goes exactly. It does go to one of the streets. Actually, in the section that goes to Salem, there's kind of a pond to the right at one point. And a long time ago, someone dumped these huge floating blocks of styrofoam. Obviously, this was also 20 years ago, so I'd say they're probably like 5 by 4 feet. So we found these things, and they were literally just laying in the pond. So they were like a raft. We straight up just got on it, used some sticks. Oh, someone's passing me. Okay. And we rode around this pond for an extended period of time. Alright, so the Salem stretch is going to go that way. I'm going to try to come back. As I said, the battery, I'm not really sure how long the battery on this is going to last, simply because this is a used device. But I think it should be good. It's crazy how fast I'm going through this. It's obviously when you're smaller and you have your little kid, and you can ride right up to the bridge here, as you can see. So you're not stuck down here. If you want to come down from the top, we'll go back up. It's a perfect place. This is where the middle school used to be, but I believe it is now the elementary school just ahead. And obviously this bridge is kind of a bridge where kids would often hang out and, you know, smoke cigarettes and things like that. It's like a little place underneath there. Yeah, it's pretty much somewhere where you come here at any evening, especially on the weekend. There'll be some kids doing something and then having a good time and probably breaking some rules, but that's what kids do. Alright, so this literally is essentially the end of the trail on this section, and on the right we're going to have this little mall, which for the life of me I cannot remember the name of it. And this is really it, and you're kind of right in the heart of town. It brings you right where you want to be, and at this point every part of Marblehead is, even if you're just walking, it's very close. Do you remember the name of this little mall area? I kind of forget the name.
Village Plaza.
All right, that's right. Thank you very much. Village Plaza. Jeez, how did I forget that? So here is Village Plaza just up ahead. We're going to do a quick spin, but just want to show you where we come out really quick. Now I'm going to go back down the trail and we're going to go try to see the Salem side. So it is Sunday right now. So as you can see, here's Village Plaza. Chinese food, Dunkin' Donuts. We obviously, being young, we went to that Dunkin' Donuts and convenience store constantly. But yeah, and if you just kind of keep going straight that way, you're basically right in downtown Marblehead at this point anyways. Little bike shop. Seaview, I don't even know if the Seaview pizza is still there. It's weird because all my memories are literally from 15 so years ago. So you can actually cut through here as well. It's a little parking lot, but if you just keep walking there, you can also go downtown. All right, let's see the Salem section. I'll say it's a little crazy how fast I'm just moving along, and feels like it's been a couple minutes and that's it. All right, so I'm gonna take that right when we see it in just a few moments. All right. Got it. Let's use it. Okay, thank you. All right. So yeah, just the bridge again, and like this little spot where kids would hang out back in the day. And of course, the sun is shining into my face. So yeah, that's that path that goes back up to the top of the bridge we just passed, and this little construction zone was always here. Now that I kind of remember, I think that first path we passed was the one that went to Salem, the one that looked a little ragged, and it connects in kind of a little triangle. So if we go left here, we can go right again, but obviously we're going to take this right, and we should see the path on the left connect, as long as I'm correct. That's the part that's usually very muddy. Remember, literally as kids we'd walk back here, and that part was very hard to get through sometimes. So you can even see water right here. Ooh. Actually, not too far away, there's a lot of water, is the Bell School. And Bell School always stood, had this backyard that kind of overlooked another private school that was called Tower School. So as kids would sometimes walk up the hill, and everyone would kind of yell at the Tower kids down below. So we should be able to see the Tower School field not too long as well. It's just like a really cool cliff that kind of went down to this school. I remember obviously after school, the teachers weren't watching, and we'd figure out a way to climb down it and have fun, but yeah, you didn't want a teacher seeing you climbing down that cliff. Whoa, almost fell there, but looking at the little walkway to someone's house. All right, either I have not seen that little trail on the left yet, or I haven't been looking, as I'm obviously kind of focusing on riding this thing. Just keep saying something incorrect, as 90% of my brain is occupied trying to not fall on this. Yeah, we definitely passed the trail on the left, so we're gonna see if we can catch you on the way back. All right, so let's see. We're actually approaching the Salem area very, very quickly. Over here are these ponds. You can probably see it. But these are the ponds that we rode around in those giant styrofoam containers that we randomly found. And I'd imagine it's been a long time they were removed. And in fact, we hadn't even seen them ourselves there soon after we kind of went down there and floated across. Obviously, it's good that someone would clean that up. All right. So we should be reaching the final intersection here soon, which is the one with Tower School on the left. And the next section, I believe, is a clear cut to Salem, into a little bridge where, as I mentioned, people would jump off into the water in high tide. And there's an area with a lot of lead in the ground, so you're not really supposed to sort of lead mine. I don't know what it was. There's some sort of production was going on there, so there was always a warning that there's lead there, and you don't want to play with what's on the ground. But obviously, we just walked through. These ponds, they continue quite a while here, so there's multiples of them. Nice forest, aha. There we can see Tower School, so you can see the opening of the field, and if you look left, you can see that cliff maybe. It's probably much smaller now that I'm 20 years older, but when we were kids, it was like the biggest cliff anyone's ever seen. Obviously, yeah, the teachers does not want us climbing down. And yeah, you can see the Bell School right above it, actually. So that building on top, that's Bell School. It's kind of neat how they're so close like that. All right. We're at our, I believe this is a new parking lot, or I just didn't have a car back then and I never noticed it. It's good to know. So yeah, the tower's cool, and hopefully there will be no cars I can get across this without stopping. So I'm really not good at going too slow just yet. Oh, I got this. Alright, I got it. Excellent. Alright, now this is the final stretch, and I always remember this little kind of bridge area here. Didn't always have this metal floor over it. Alright, so it's like I can slightly smell the ocean already. You should see it very soon. All the distances here are kind of a little not right in my memory, obviously, because I was so much smaller when I was here, and I remember riding down this path all the way to the end when we were 9 years old. It felt like we brought sandwiches and drinks, and it was like a whole journey, and obviously it wasn't really that far at all. It's pretty windy today too, I'm sure you can tell. Alrighty, so far so good. I've really been keeping the same pace, say around 8 to 10 miles an hour. The GoPro is actually at 22% battery, so I think we may even be able to make it all the way back. See how it goes. 22 minutes. I'm using the camera and my phone here. Whoop, probably not the safest. Just sending a text to a friend here. Whoa, sorry. Actually, someone I just know, I was texting her, someone painted these rocks orange, which honestly is pretty nice. At night you can see them a lot better. Oh yeah, we can see the water. There it is. And there's another way to get out here. There's ways to get out here anywhere. So here, you can ride right down to the water here. This is Salem Harbor. There's some good sized little ditches here. And this is kind of that area where once I get better, I definitely will ride down through there. Right now I'm really just trying to stay on this thing and just get better. And then this area, they kind of did some construction. They built that house up there. And here you can see the water. Salem Harbor, and this area gets really shallow sometimes, and in fact it gets super muddy. You want to be careful not to get stuck. And there you go, you can even cut all the way down to there. And in fact at this point I've kind of made a pretty good sized loop, and I could go back this way. That would be the logical thing to do. But for one, I don't really like, there's a big hill. I don't want to use up the battery much, and I also, I don't know, it's kind of more fun to ride down the trail. So I'm going to turn around and go backwards and see what I can find. All right, hopefully I can squeeze through here and not fall. Whoa, I made it. Alrighty, and here is this bridge. Also goes to this kind of a forest river. I believe it's called Forest River Park. I forget exactly the name of it. But there is a, when I get off for a second. There we go. There is a really nice park to walk around there, and the easiest way to get up it is if you go up this hill here, and I take the first right, and then you take the first right again, and if you go straight for a little bit, you'll see kind of a little parking spot on the right, and it gives you access to this whole kind of marshland area, especially when it's low tide. It's really fun to walk around there. It's a neat place. And yeah, and this is that bridge where kids would jump off here in high tide. Salem Harbor. It's a nice place. Once I had a friend that lived over there, and we made a outrigger for a canoe out of bamboo and some styrofoam, and we also made a sail out of bamboo and like some piece of plastic, and we basically rowed / sailed this canoe from all the way over here to downtown Salem by Jaho Coffee. It was pretty neat, and then we sailed it back as well. Yeah, so we climbed all these rocks a million times. It's been a blast. All right, I guess let's head back and see how this works. All right, if I can get on this thing with the camera in hand. I got this. All right. Whoa. Alrighty, I did it. And so far, one accomplishment after the next. Alright, the light should be also a little better, as it the whole time was kind of facing, facing me during this last section. So let's give it a go, and then we're going to try to find that path on the right and see if we can essentially just go all the way back. Here we go. Keep flying there. It's really a nice place now. 17% on the GoPro. So let's see if we can make it. This is actually my first GoPro ever, so I'm also pretty rusty with it. I've not made too many videos with it. We'll see how this comes out. Alright. It says 26. Whoa! Holy shit. I can't believe I did not fall there. Wow, alright, I gotta really not look at the camera so much, because seriously, that I could have totally fell down there. And you can ride this down to the water. Alright. Another path through the woods. This kind of comes up from behind Bell School. There's a little like walkway kind of place. Alright, let's do this, guys. All the way back we get to Seaview, which is where I started. Because this trail is so easy, I'm not making many turns. I'm kind of focusing on the camera and just riding this thing. I feel like I'm not even using much of my muscles or anything like that. I could be doing a lot more different maneuvers and things, but I'm gonna wait till I have the arm pads for that. I really don't want to fall here. Also, I'll probably have to check my camera when I fall, so that won't be good either. So we're going to pass this street here again by Tower School, and then after a little bit we're going to look for a trail on the right. See if that will work. But I'll see. If it looks too small or if things look a little muddy, I'm probably just going to skip going down that way, because yeah, I'm a little... This literally is my first real ride on this EUC. Actually going somewhere opposed to making circles in the park. Train flew by. I don't know if you can see that. Probably not. make it through here without stopping. But probably not. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get out here. Just gotta do that. Oh. Just doing the whole suitcase mode. I definitely cannot do that whole circle around or go back. I can't go backwards yet. Alright, I guess round 2 for getting on this thing with the camera, so I can do this one. Almost. Fail 1. Oh yeah. I'm good, yeah. Thank you. Attempting to climb on this thing while holding a camera. Alright, that was really not too bad. I might have looked worse on camera, but barely a fall. Alright, 13%. Come on, I can do this. Alright, I got it. I got it. Well, at least I fell a little bit once. There you go, that felt good. Let's go, I guess. There's that Tower School field again, actually. Seems like they have a nice playground there. See, these things are not something I would know as it's been a long time. Believe it or not, Bell School was actually always my favorite school. I don't know why. They always had the nicest kids. Remember, I kind of came there from a not great Lynn school called Connery School, where pretty much every day at recess it was just Fight Club. And I came to Bell School here, and pretty girls were giving me half their lunch sandwiches, and everyone was super nice. It was man, it was great. It was a total change. So at some point soon there should be that turn right if it's still there. I'm trying to remember kind of exactly where it is. Part of the reason is obviously that part of the section kind of near the turn or near that bridge is right near where the Marblehead High School used to be. So we obviously so often head off to this trail after school or something like that. It would be a place to hang out, and it was awesome because back then, one of the cool things is I believe as soon as you were in 10th grade or something like that, in 10th grade you were allowed to go to Village Plaza to get lunch. And this is something I never got to do in any other school. It's, you know, it was lunch break. You just get to leave school, walk with your backpacks and your friends, go grab some pizza, have some Coke or Pepsi, and relax and walk back. And as soon as we made it to the new school, or they built a new school, they got rid of that because, well, for one, there was nowhere really to get food near it. But, you know, as all things these days, everything's a liability, this and that. And, man, I fondly remember those memories of walking and getting lunch during high school. Unfortunately, I only got to do that for 1 year. Because, yeah, I believe it was 10th grade, so 11th and 12th grade I moved to the new school because they finished building it. So 11th and 12th grade we did not get to go to lunch, but it was just that 1 year of 10th grade where I honestly specifically remember that it was the year of 9/11 because I think I even remember not like lunch being, or us not being allowed to go out at lunch that day. It was 9/11, and specifically being on the whole event being on TV and everything like that. And I don't know why I kind of correlate those two, but I just remember that because it was a big day in American history, and it was memorable even at that age. All right, I have a feeling I just missed that trail that goes right, but you know what? Maybe we'll grab it next time. In general, this is just I love this place. It's such a nice path, and Now they've continued the path and it goes all the way through Salem and much further. I don't even know exactly where it goes. And there's also a new path that goes from Lynn to pretty much downtown Boston, and I cannot wait to ride that to the city. I just need a little more practice,